But yeah, the surprise is mostly Mercedes on the hard tyres. They were extremely quick today, and yeah, maybe we can learn something from it.
Well, rumours about Leclerc replacing Hamilton have started to become louder and louder, and it seems like nobody can stop them from arising even more and more. What's even more interesting is the fact that even with Binotto out of the team, something that Leclerc is definitely happy with, there's still a high possibility that Hamilton will be replaced by Leclerc entering the 2025 season. So should we prepare ourselves for another shocking development in the drivers' lineup and yet another silly season in 2025? Now, with the departure of Binotto, a lot of things shifted at Ferrari. It's obvious that the Maranello team is experiencing a bit of a roller coaster period, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they did the right thing and are on the right path. Firing Binotto was a very discussable option, and just because of this particular choice, it doesn't mean that we're going to see the right thing being done to boost the success of one team. Charles Leclerc had a very tough relationship with Mattia Binotto, and it was quite evident that the team had folded under pressure when the championship challenge was presented to them. Although Leclerc's mistakes weren't that present in the season, as we can remember only 2 major ones, in France and in Imola, the rest of the season was truly something that Ferrari isn't allowed to have if they're yet to win a championship for the first time since 2007. Obviously, the team has struggled a lot to understand how to nail a proper tactic. We've seen blunder after blunder in Monaco, Silverstone, France, Budapest and Brazil. And on top of that, the car wasn't performing really well in high altitude tracks, such as the ones in Brazil and Mexico, which saw Mercedes cut down the lead to just 19 points heading towards the last race of the season. Now, when things go bad for Ferrari, and we mean bad and fast, there is only so much one team can do. Your superstar driver isn't happy with Binotto, and he publicly said that he doesn't want to comment on the relationship that Binotto has with Ferrari regarding his sacking. The team has 2 options. The first is to accept the fact that Leclerc will leave beyond 2024 if changes don't come, while the second is to get rid of the team principal and bring in another one that Leclerc would prefer. So the team did the second thing, which was an obvious thing to do if you want to keep your driver. However, was it the right thing to do? Binotto was part of Ferrari for 28 years, and if someone in that garage knew how to fix all of the reliability issues for the 2023 season, that has to be him. He's been through so much and learned a vast amount of things about that car, and although he proved to be a not so good manager of the Maranello team, that doesn't mean he was poised to exit. To put things in perspective, Binotto was part of Ferrari prior to Leclerc being born, and what's even more interesting is the fact that Binotto wasn't truly responsible for all of the drivers' mistakes and all of the tactical blunders that Ferrari has suffered from in 2022. It wasn't Binotto who dictated the pit stops in Monaco or Budapest when both cars were fitted with hard compound tyres rather than medium compound tyres, which was the obvious solution after seeing how Alpine cars struggled with hard tyres. When Red Bull nails a tactic, such as the one in Budapest, when Verstappen was able to pass both Mercedes drivers in the pit stop and win the race, nobody says, "Well done, Horner." Everyone praised Hannah Schmidt, who's responsible for the tactics being called by the team. Every team on the field has their own strategists, and quite frankly, they were the main issue that Leclerc suffered from and not Binotto. The problem with Binotto was the fact that he wasn't able to point the finger at one guy or a group of guys and say, they were the problem in the previous race, we're going to fix it and become stronger on the next one. That's something that hurt his chances of remaining the team principal at Ferrari, and quite frankly, he wanted the drivers to accept that mistakes are happening and you can't deal with it once it's happened. But in this instance, they've happened way too much, and one couldn't blame Leclerc for being angry and furious at someone on his team. Binotto is the one that Leclerc wasn't able to build a solid relationship with, which is why after Silverstone, both of them were on non-speaking terms. This was the race in which Leclerc was left out on P1 on old hard compound tyres, while Sainz, Perez and Hamilton were all behind him and pitted for fresh sets of tyres during the safety car period. In the end, Leclerc dropped 3 positions and finished P4 in a race he was supposed to win and cut as many points as he could to Verstappen, who had a damage limitation race and finished P7. Even with a new team principal, the success of Ferrari isn't guaranteed. For example, if Frédéric Vasseur or Maurizio Arrivabene come in the following days and the team of tacticians say, just like they were in the 2022 season, the team will have lots of hard work teaching them how to do the right thing. It's obvious that they weren't able to learn from their own mistakes, and the problem could be in the relationship between Binotto and the tacticians. That's why the team hopes that they will get rid of these problems now that Binotto is gone, and another team principal, such as Vasseur or Arrivabene, will be able to get rid of them by taking more responsibility from these particular team members. Still, hoping is one thing, but accomplishing it in reality is a whole other thing, which is why Leclerc could still be on the way out of the team if the problems that they had in 2022 persist. In 2025, Leclerc's contract with Ferrari is expiring, and there aren't any significant points in favour of him renewing the contract beyond this season. When he renewed his contract with Ferrari until 2025 in 2021, he stated that he intended to do so for 2 more years. However, this didn't happen, and now with the trouble that Ferrari currently faces, rest assured that the situation will unfold very badly for the Maranello team if they don't see significant results in the upcoming seasons. Now, before we move on, we wanted to tell you about the amazing deal the official F1 store is doing right now. Black Friday week and holiday season is here, and they're doing daily discounts on all orders. So check out the first link down in the description to get yourself this juicy discount. Now, quite frankly, Hamilton would be more than happy to leave his place to Leclerc in 2025 if the opportunity ever arises. He's currently playing the role of an ambassador for Mercedes, trying to help them see better results from 2023 onwards after a devastating 2022 season that saw them just win 1 race out of 22 events. In the past, Wolff said that he would be more than happy to poach staff from Ferrari or Red Bull regarding the drivers, and with Verstappen continuing his deal until the 2028 season, and with the 2021 season outcome, him and Mercedes is impossible. Nevertheless, time will tell whether Ferrari did the right thing by letting Binotto go and keeping the tacticians. That is, if Ferrari decides that they're done with the changes and are now focused on making it work with the new team principal. Vasseur is the guy that Leclerc has the most trust in, and if they're already committed to listening to Leclerc and fulfilling his wishes, this would be the logical solution. But if Vasseur fails to make it work with Ferrari due to the fact that it's a brand new team with a brand new philosophy, then rest assured that Leclerc will yet be again unhappy with how the situation unfolds down at Ferrari. The Monegasque had 9 positions and 3 wins in 2022, 2 of them coming from pole position. On the contrary, Verstappen had 5 pole positions and 15 wins in 2022, which speaks enough about the Dutchman's dominance. That's why Ferrari has a very interesting period lying ahead of them, and they need to be really careful regarding the choice of a team principal. Moreover, they need to pay attention to the other team members, because signing a team principal and a team principal only will likely result in the same outcome in 2023. If there is one guy who knows what went wrong in 2022 with the engine reliability and how to fix it for 2023, that has to be Binotto. Again, just because he was a bad manager doesn't mean he was a bad engineer, as his 28 years of experience are going to be more than value now at Ferrari, something that they cannot count on anymore. So, what do you think is next for Leclerc and his departure from Ferrari? Do you think he'll replace Hamilton just because Ferrari did the wrong thing by letting go Binotto? Let us know in the comments below.